I'm Rob Andrews and I'm here at the greatest and most famous motocross Grand Prix track there ever was, and that's Namur in Belgium. I was very fortunate to be able to race here during its heyday, during the 80s. Last race here in 1990, and I've not really been back since. So I thought I would come back, have a look around the track and tell you my recollections of what it was like to race around here. But perhaps first a bit of history. That in front of us is one of the most recognizable backdrops in motocross, and most people refer to that as the Citadel, but it's not. That is the Stade de Jeux, or Stadium of Games. And that's actually, although it looks Roman, that's quite recently built. That was built about 1910, so just over 100 years old. But when we refer to the Citadel, the location of this race, is actually the entire hilltop fortress that stands in the center of Namur. And that goes back to the Middle Ages. This place, it's sort of in a triangle of land between the Meuse and the Sambre rivers. And it was a great military stronghold. And so going back 600, 700, 800 years, they decided to build fortifications here, and it became a military stronghold. And that is the Citadel, meaning fortress. The GP was held here. It first started in about 1940 something, and it held races up until about 2006, 2007. And it was just the most beloved place. So I'm going to take a walk around the track and give you my thoughts, and I hope you enjoy watching it. So as I walk up towards the Stade de Jeux, I should tell you that that looks Roman or something, but it's not. That's only 100 or so years old. So that was built quite recently, although the rest of the Citadel itself is quite old, medieval, I think. I'll have to look that up. I did research it for my book. But the crowds used to stand in there, sit in there and watch the racing. And just at the bottom here, this is where the Parc Fermé was. So we would gather here before the races, just at the foot of these steps, looking out over the Esplanade, as it was called. And the start gate was just in front of me here. The track used to pass behind the start and head off into the woods there. So the start gate, I'm guessing, would be about where this wet patch is here. Now the start took off up there towards those campers, but that building, that modern building, wasn't there before. So the first turn was a bit further up. It doesn't look particularly long here, but we went a little bit further there. And the first turn was really fast, right-hand sweeping bend that went around the right-hand side of this Esplanade. So I'll walk up there and show you that. So the start would come towards us there, straight towards me.
The gate drops, they're away into that first corner. Who will it be?
And then curve around a big, sweeping, fast right-hander by these campers, following those concrete blocks, and then head back towards that corner there.
Met het nummer 30 zat er mee vooraan, Rob Andrews. En Hakan Karlqvist inderdaad. Hakan Karlqvist met het nummer 11 heeft de snelste start genomen voor Kees van der Ven met het nummer 3.
So the fast first turn was sweeping through here and into a 180-degree right about here in front of the Stade de Jeux. Then it would turn right, another 180 left, roughly there. And then it would turn back behind the start gate and then off into the woods.
Dan Dave Torp in tweede positie en dan verdwijnen ze voor ons uit het gezicht daar, duiken naar de bos.
Now this part of this is tarmac here, and it's all hard standing. I think they use this for outdoor events, concerts and that sort of thing, and parking. But for the GP it was always covered in sand. I mean, pretty deep sand as well. I never remember it digging down to tarmac underneath, so that was quite a big undertaking. So after turning around behind the start gate, we start to head out into the woods there. So we're heading out of the Esplanade section now, and for those watching up on those steps up there, they wouldn't see the riders for another 3 minutes and 5 seconds, something like that. It was a very long lap time. But as we head out here, I remember this being third gear and pretty fast, and then we would jump off this jump here or off this bank and into this parkland section. But what strikes me now is that it's just full of trees. You know, where would the track go there? Now that big tree that's in the centre of the picture there, I can't remember whether we went left or right of that, but it just staggers me that the track should go there. And funnily enough, as I remember racing it, I never remember thinking about the trees. We would just see the track. This is probably one of the few tracks that I can actually remember now where it went 30 years later. But I just remember the track and the berms and the bumps. I don't remember the trees. So I'm guessing we must have either gone between these two or between those two there. But either way, it's pretty narrow. They did build a tabletop here one year as well, in the later years, probably 1990. But we're heading into the parkland section now. And if you look off to the side, look at all the houses. If you don't realise, you don't understand, this track is in the middle of Namur. It's on a national monument on a hill in the centre of the city. It's like holding a motocross race in Hollywood Hills. If I just turn around here, you can see you've got all these beautiful houses, and there's a city down there. So the Namur 500 Grand Prix was just held in the middle of a city. Absolutely amazing. I can't remember specifically whether we went left of these couple of trees here or right, but nice part of the track this. It was always reasonably smooth and flowing and quite quick. And up ahead there in the distance is the famous cast iron bridge. And I know that we did turn up the bank just before that. There was a right-hander sort of on camber turn, so I don't know whether that was in there or whether we went left of those two trees up there maybe. We'll see in a moment. Now I now think that we came up by this cow parsley here and kind of turned against that bank and then came down to the cast iron bridge. So I haven't walked underneath this cast iron bridge for 30 years. In fact, more than 30 years. 34 years. And there's a tarmac road that goes underneath it that's the access track for all these lovely properties here. But I do remember that we were coming down, I mean this tarmac road here wasn't covered in dirt. So we were coming down off this bank in third gear on a 500 and having to turn across this kind of funky off camber. The sides of the bridge there would have been covered with bales, that sort of thing. I mean, solid concrete wall there. There's lots of things around here that you really wouldn't want to hit. And lots of annoying kind of curbstones there. You know, it's not even a smooth transition. You get your front wheel on that curbstone, that's going to be a problem. But there's the bridge, and it is iconic.